about to get real. Here we go. I saw her, she was standing there, pink bandana wrapped around her hair, waited patiently for a turn. I wondered if she had a little time she could burn, talking on the phone with one of her friends. Wish I had a number and a message to send. I saw her, she was standing there, and I was right behind her and she didn't care. Moving forward, would you give me a sign? If I get closer, I will lose my mind. One of these days, gonna make you mine. Standing behind you in the coffee line. Standing behind you in the coffee line. Yeah. Looked at my watch, it's 2:45. She's about to order, let me listen and see. A cappuccino classic, tall and extra hot. Heavy on the sugar, cause I like it a lot. So I took a breath and gathered up some words I could speak. Before I knew it, she was looking at me. She smiled and grabbed a drink, and before I could say, she just turned and she walked away. Moving forward, would you give me a sign? If I get closer, I will lose my mind. One of these days, gonna make you mine. Standing behind you in the coffee line. I'm right behind you every day. I'm right behind you, see it. Until tomorrow, I will wait. Guess I'll have to wait. If I get closer, I will lose my mind. One of these days, gonna make you mine. Standing behind you in the coffee line. Moving forward, would you give me a sign? If I get closer, I will lose my mind. One of these days, gonna make you mine. Standing behind you in the coffee line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Americans and un-Americans, it's time to grab your kids and gather around the internet for your weekly injection of truth. Prepare to have your world rocked with Steve Duplantis and Rock the World!
Yeah. It's that time again. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. Dang, man, I haven't been on here in 3 or 4 weeks, man. Had trouble getting online. Facebook forgot that I actually did. I had to go restart everything. Welcome to Rock the World live stream. My name is Steve Duplantis, and we want to welcome you. This is your voice of sanity for the week, for the month, for the year. I want to just welcome myself back to the internets, man, to the interwebs. I've been gone for like so long. Lots of stuff have been going on. If you didn't know, I had some medical problems. I had to have some. Make sure this thing's on. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's on mute. I'll be dang. Forgotten. Actually turned it on. That's pretty good. I remembered. Actually had some medical problems. I was having some chest pains and went in to see the doc. Wound up having 3 stents put on my heart. So now I have a total of 5 stents in there. I've got 2 bypasses. I've got 5 collapse bypasses. And I don't know how I'm still alive. I really don't. Only by the grace of God, because by all means, I shouldn't be here talking right now, but I am, and God still has a voice, and He still has me speaking for Him, and sometimes I speak for myself just because I'm that way. I'm kind of vocal on stuff, and sometimes I say stuff I'm not supposed to, but I do it anyway. But anyway, it's good to be back, because at least I get to rant tonight, because my wife's been hearing all my ranting, and I think she's kind of, she's a saint, man, to put up with me and some of my stuff. And but that's just how it goes. I want to welcome our sponsor tonight. If you don't know what that is, it's Nick Duplantis Graphics Creative. He is now based out of Batesburg, South Carolina, and he does all of your smooth and mellow graphic needs. He's just started a deal where he reaches out to churches, and kind of you get like a little bundle going. You get a video, you get some bulletins, you get some cool graphic stuff, and he charges so much a month. I mean, if you guys got a church, anybody watching out there, check him out, Nick Duplantis Creative. It's I believe the name, I have to put it on here for next week though, but I believe the name of it is Firestarters Media, and he just does some cool stuff, man. But if you wanna have a let me do something here, because it's bugging. No, I can't do it. I have to do it when I transition. Anyway, if you want to have something like this going on, like a live stream, excuse me, like some platform where you can speak your mind, even if you want to write a book, if you want to make a song, if you do that, and you need some type of artwork with it, man, get in touch with him, because he'll do a good job. He really does. I mean, look down here in the corner. No, over here. I don't know if I'll ever get used to this. Okay, hold on. Over here, yeah, look in the corner. See that right there? See that right there? He did that, He made that thing there. Pretty cool, He does a good job, And if anybody's, you guys want to banter back and forth, let's do that tonight. I have kind of an agenda where I want to go, but I don't know. Let's see. I know lots of stuff has been going on, and most of all, I'm pretty pissed, just like everybody else. We've watched since January. We've watched this country spiral downward into the abyss of the sewage of the world. This country, I don't recognize it. I don't recognize it anymore. I don't recognize the people. I don't recognize anything about it. We got a new mayor here in Anchorage, right around July timeframe. He was sworn in. He's been in not quite a month, and everything he tries to do has been shot down, because we have a liberal assembly. So everything that he's done so far, and he's tried to do some good stuff, and they're not having anything of it. So my prediction here for Anchorage is that it's going to get bad here again, because the excuse me, what's going on here? The governor is, lots of governors are coming out around the country, speaking against and making it illegal for businesses and places to put mandates in, to mandate the vaccines and stuff like that. They're making it, you can't do it. Quit messing with our people. Quit messing with them. All right, and they're standing up against this fool we have for a president, and this governor is doing nothing. He's acting like nothing's going on. All right. But I can see it come along. I can see the assembly. The assembly's probably going to put some kind of mandate back in. The mayor's not going to have anything to do with it. But you know what? The assembly hired a person to be their shadow mayor. So this person has just as much power as the duly elected mayor. So whatever the mayor does is going to be, he's going to have a time. Let me put it that way. He's going to have a time. and he's going to have lots of gray hair by the time he gets out of this position. But I don't see it getting any better here. All right. Because our governor's not doing anything to step in. He's not making a statement saying, look, we are not doing this. All right. No, the state of Alaska will not mandate vaccines. They will not, and he should make it illegal like they're doing in Florida or Texas, when all these other places that are standing up against this foolishness. You know, it's totally out of line. It's totally out of line. So I see it. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And God help you guys. You know, that's all I got to say. And that's probably that is actually, if you haven't heard yet, that Demita and I are going to be moving. We sold our house here in Anchorage back in January, and we were going to Florida anyway. We wanted to move there because of the fact that Demita had some medical problems she's got, and she can't handle the cold as much anymore. So Florida was the spot to go. And then as the year went on, you know, we saw how we're not the only ones that are trying to get there. I mean, gosh, there's a tons of people. We tried to find a house. Every time we put a bid in on it, it got swooped up. So we decided to go ahead and build a new one. And we're probably in the area we're looking is probably one of the last houses to be built there for a while, just because they're inundated with the work. The economy's booming in Florida. People are the governor loves his people. He's not going to listen to the pressure of the federal government about doing the mandates and all the other BS that's going on. I mean, you know, so if that's news. We announced it last week, but definitely we're out of here. We're out of Alaska here in probably beginning of September, and we're going to head down, and it'll take about a year for our house to get built. And it can be bittersweet because we love Alaska. You know, God called us here, and lots of things. God did some things in us up here, and but God's drawing a line. He's separating the sheep and the goats right now. And to be honest with you, I did 2 runs at the political scene here, and it didn't work out. And I've not, you know. It seems like God has closed every door of ministry, if you haven't already. Lost my credentials, lost my job, all this other stuff. And so God has shut the door here, and we're headed out. We're going to another place and see what he's got there. And we'll keep you abreast of that as it goes. You know, we're pretty excited about it. But I see it getting bad here, you know. And if you're living in a place like California or New York or something, gosh, New York is mandated. You can't go anywhere unless you got a vaccine passport. And somehow they think that this is constitutionally legal to do this. And this is what we're seeing, man. We're seeing this kind of foolishness go on. We're seeing it go around the entire country, the entire world. And people are standing up. But I don't see it here. That's what concerns me. That's what concerns me the most. All right. I was thinking about this back when did MySpace come into being? 2004, maybe 3, something like that. I can't remember. I had a MySpace page. Everybody did, because that was the thing to do, man. And dude, it was an avenue to voice your opinion. I would write stuff and put it out there, and I don't know how. At that time, I probably had maybe a couple of hundred followers, I guess. I don't know what it was, if I had that much. And then Facebook comes on the scene, and Facebook just changed the whole face of things. So you had a different. It was more people, and it was an easier way to get your point across. And man, I remember at the onset of that, you had liberals, and nobody was saying anything about the conservative side. I started getting vocal about stuff. I would confront people, and this is before they were doing. I mean, this is before it got like it is today. This is when it was just starting out in the infancy of it, you know. And man, you could get the upper hand on people, you know, and you could say stuff, and you go back and forth, and you wouldn't get censored for it. You wouldn't get, you know, tossed off because you you said a dirty word, or you referenced something. You said the COVID's, whatever it is that they're banning you for today, and I may be banned for something. Who knows? I really don't care. But I'm still, like I said, as long as I got a platform somewhere, I'm still going to speak my mind, and I'm going to do it. And this is what I was thinking. I had this, all right, and lots of people were getting vocal about stuff, and this is when Barack Obama got elected, and we knew that this guy came out of freaking nowhere, right? I never even heard his name. All of a sudden he's president. Who in the heck is Barack Obama? And then you look at what happened in those 8 years. Possibly the worst 8 years America has ever suffered under a president. All right, decline of everything. Morally, everything just went to crap. Everything, and then we get Trump in, and then of course we got what we got right now, which is just Obama, 2.0. That's all it is. But you had that, you could speak out against him. You could write memes about him. You could say stuff and get away with it, man. It was a release, because there was really nothing we could do. We tried the Tea Party stuff, the protest, and it got a little momentum until the media stepped in and ruined everything, like they always do. It made everything look bad. So anyway, what I'm getting at is that I had this platform and I was utilizing it and I was doing stuff with it, and then I get flack from Christians, all right, and they would contact me via messenger or text or something, and they would tell me, you're a little bit too rough. Maybe you ought to show a little bit more love. God's about love. Show some love. Don't be so harsh. Don't. You're saying the truth, but don't say it like that. So I backed off on it. Okay, I backed off, and especially when I came up here to Alaska and became a pastor, I had to pretty much cut it out all. Nothing. All right, nothing. And the minute I start doing it again, because I did that about a year and a half ago, that's when it all hit the fan again. All right. So my point is that we have to stay vocal. We have to stay involved. We have to do these things. If not, we're going to get what we have today, like we have today, and worse. We have Joe Biden because of the fact that Christians are silent and they're not saying anything. They're turning the other cheek. And I solely put this problem on the church. Solely on the church. Because we never stepped up, because we took our eyes off of God. Our eyes came off of God, and we went on the programs, it went on the churches, it went on the numbers in the churches, and it went on not offending people. That's where our focus went. And it went off of God. All right? Totally off of God. We were not focused on our first love. Focused on other things. And now we got Joe Biden, and we're headed straight down the pathway to communism. Aren't you guys happy? All right? Aren't you guys happy? And let me just go ahead and point back to a year and a half ago. It's a year and a half ago, when the church is shut down. You know what I was told? Oh, I believe this is coming, brother. I believe that persecution is coming. This is just a dress rehearsal. So we shouldn't be doing anything about it now. So here we are, a year and a half into 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I place that blame solely on the church, because we're powerless. We have been emasculated. We have become a they. That's why we call the church a they, not she anymore. It's a they. All right? Non-binary. Ballless. I ain't afraid to say it. I got nothing to lose at this point. I don't. But I have to get this out there, because we're in a time here. All right? We are in a time, and I want to point out some scripture before I go on, is that it's basically the story. It's just the story itself. John 4, when Jesus met the woman at the well. Okay, we know that story, but this is the beginning of the story. All right, the beginning. Therefore, when the Lord, this is John, starting in John 4, verse 1. Therefore, when the Lord knew the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself did not baptize but his disciples, he left Judea and parted again to Galilee. But he needed to go through Samaria. Now, that's like a Jewish guy going through the Gaza Strip today. All right? It's like walking through a drug-infested ghetto, wearing a Rolex. It wasn't a good thing, all right? But he had to go through Samaria. What do you think the disciples thought? And if you haven't watched the show The Chosen, you should watch the episode that talks about this, because they kind of read into like a backstory, all right? And this is the kind of stuff, when I read through the Bible, I imagine, well, what the heck was he thinking? What was going on? What were these guys doing? How are they handling this all together? They were probably afraid, all right, to go through there, Samaria, because they could have gotten killed. I mean, really, they could have gotten killed. But Jesus, where was his focus? His focus was on what the Father was doing. The Father was going to do something in Samaria. He was going to do something. So he didn't worry about his surroundings. He didn't worry about leprosy. He didn't worry about, COVID-19. He didn't worry about any of that stuff. He went towards his purpose, towards his destiny. And the disciples went with him. And that whole region wound up coming to him, right? Because of that. And they stayed there. They actually stayed there for a little while. So my point is that the church, this is why I place the blame of all this going on today solely on the church, is because we were called to go through Samaria at one point, but we didn't. We went the opposite route. We took the Jonah route. Right, and right now we're beyond the belly of the whale. We're being digested. We're not even going to be vomited up. We're going to be crapped out the other end, because that's how far in we are right now. All right, so we were called to go through Samaria, but we didn't. We failed. All right, we failed. So we're at where we're at right now. All right, we have a president who's got dementia and Alzheimer's disease and likes to tell us when he gets his butt wiped. All right. We have gasoline prices are soaring through the roof. Food prices are going up. Mask mandates. We're going to start masking our children again, masking everybody else. Mask this. Put a mask on your freaking butthole next, because the COVID's going to be it's going to be able to be passed through your freaking butt. That's why they used to do the anal swabs in freaking China. So some more fear, dude, just more fear. So that's what I think what the disciples were feeling before they went into Samaria. Yeah, they were feeling fear, but you stay focused. Mr. Miyagi, stay focused, right? You stay focused on God, because he's the one that is calling you to do whatever you're doing, all right? And I can guarantee you he's not calling you to sit in your freaking house and put a mask on and get an experimental vaccine. That's just bottom line. If you want to push that, all right, which actually brings me to my my retarded tweet of the week. It's actually not a retarded tweet. It's a retarded meme. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. This is what I saw on somebody's page today. As an American, you have a right not to wear a mask. That's true. But just like you, businesses have a right to not let you in, not to serve you. Now, let me point this out first before I go any further, that businesses do not have rights. The Constitution was not made for businesses. It was made for individuals. Individuals have rights. Businesses do not have rights. Make that clear, that this is asinine, whoever wrote this thing, all right? Businesses do not have rights. You are free to make a choice. Oh, you can't have it both ways. You are free to make a choice, but that means accepting the consequences of your actions. Screaming at employees and businesses for protecting their workers and customers does not make you a patriot. It makes you an asshole. Don't mistake inconvenience for oppression. Okay, that's even more retarded. Don't mistake inconvenience for oppression. Do you think that separate water fountain in the back of the store was an inconvenience, or it was oppression for blacks during Jim Crow? Do you think sitting in the back of the bus was an inconvenience, or it was oppression? If you actually think that a business can withhold goods for you because you decide not to take a medical device and put it on your face, medical device, or take an experimental vaccine and put it in your veins, that they have the right to tell you you can't shop here, they do not have that right. And I would like to talk to the freaking imbecile that made this meme, and for every imbecile that has posted it and think it's correct, I would like to have a conversation. Please show me in the Constitution where businesses have right to do that. In fact, it was the Civil Rights Amendment that kind of told them they can't do that crap. Oh, well, it's a mask. Well, then guess what? The Disabilities Act put medical into that too. So you have no right to discriminate or oppress anybody because of a medical condition, or force someone with a medical procedure so you can sell them goods. You see, this is why Joe Biden is pushing the vaccine for the businesses to do it, not the government. He knows he can't do it. He knows he can't mandate it. He's going to try to do it with the military. He's going to try to get the entire military vaccinated. I like to see that happen because it's going to be split in half, because there's a lot of people that are not going to do it. So what are they going to do? Throw the people out? All right, throw them out. So we got half the amount of people that we normally have in the military. So our military has just been sliced in half. Is that defending the country? Well, he's got the borders open. I mean, why not? Let's just decimate the military too. Right? Asinine. I mean, we're living in a time where it's almost unreal. I can't fathom the stupidity, the idiocy. Right? There's a movie called Idiocracy. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. A little vulgar, got lots of innuendo in it, lots of stuff in it, but I tell you what, it's prophetic. Mike Judge, who wrote it, is a prophet. The man's a prophet. Because the exact thing is, he said it for 500 years from now, but it's actually happening right now. Just the dumbness, the stupidity. I can't. I can't even. I can't. I mean, this is stuff that we really have to take into consideration. So we are not standing up doing anything. All right. Somebody made a post earlier. I believe it was in St. Tammany Parish. Louisiana has made mandates. Everything back. All the mask mandates. All the crap's back. St. Tammany Parish is close to New Orleans, kind of, a little ways away, right next to it, kind of. Anyway, they're at a school board meeting, all right, and the person's complaining because they have, seats separating, and the wife can't sit with the husband, and the children can't sit with them, and they're saying, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do it. Bull crap. What do you mean you can't do it? You're complying. Yeah, if they tell you can't do it and you don't do it, then you can't do it. But guess what? You can do it. Just go do it. What are they going to do? Arrest you? What if they do? What if they do? That's the problem. People are not willing to give up their convenience. They're not willing. That's what this meme talking about down here. Look. Don't mistake inconvenience for oppression. Oh, it's inconvenient that I can't sit next to my wife. No, I just sleep with her in the same freaking bed, but I can't sit next to her in a freaking meeting. You know, I mean, we just like literally became one, right? But I can't sit next to her. How freaking stupid is that? I mean, really? And I commented on the person's thing. I said, don't complain to me about this crap. Don't do this. Just freaking go sit next to one another. Take a stand. Do it. Just freaking do it, man. And this is the main thing. Do not comply. Do not comply, regardless of the outcome. Is that what you want? What do you want? What do you want? If you hear a dog barking, it's got my window open. It's hot in here, man. Might hear kids and stuff playing. Some planes might land too. I don't know. But that's what's going on. I mean, there's dogs outside. They bark. But even the dog's excited. It's like you're going to stand up and do something. You got to be loud like the freaking dog. Make some noise. And dog ain't going to shut up until you beat it. All right, well, guess what? I'm not going to shut up until you beat me too. And even after you beat me, I'm still going to be freaking screaming. That's how we have to be with this. Dude, we are going to lose this country. We can't. I don't recognize it as it is. I don't. So we've already lost it, basically. We've lost it, you know. But how much more are you going to lose? How much more are you going to give up? How many more vaccines are you going to have to take? Because now it's not just the first and second shot. Now they're talking about wanting to, you know, do a booster shot, a third, fourth, or fifth one. All right. And then I invite you to look up. I believe his name is Dr. Mahone. My bad, Mahone. The guy who actually patented the mRNA vaccine. I will post his. He was on the Steve Day show day before yesterday, and I will post his interview from Rumble. I don't know if you guys have Rumble. If you got YouTube, you know it's like YouTube, but it's not censored. They let you talk about what you want, you know. I will post that, and what he has to say about this thing is phenomenal. I don't know how many people I've known that's gotten a jab, and a good number of them have gotten sick. All right. This is a year and a half out. I've been exposed to it, haven't gotten it, and if I get it, I get it. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't want my freedom taken away. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not taking the jab. I've had the flu before. Had heart attack. That. You know, almost died from that too. You know, so God saved me from the heart attack. He can definitely save me from the freaking COVID. And if he doesn't, well, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to serve him. I'm still going to do what he wants to do. So back to the original point, I hold the church solely responsible for this. Solely responsible for it. And if we don't repent and turn around, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, because I do know what's going to happen. God's hand is already off this thing. You know, he's already off this thing. He's not, because this ain't going to work anymore. Saved and safe. No, you ain't safe no more, bro. No, because they're coming at you. They're going to come at you because you complied. Okay? You complied, so now they know what they can get away with. So it's going to be easy for them to shut the church down again. And it's going to be easy for you to comply, too. It's going to be very easy for you to comply. This week, right now, my old denomination that I was ordained with, the Assemblies of God, the General Council going on down in Orlando. Not too far from where we're going to be moving. And Florida's open. Governor said no mandates, none of that stuff. All right? None of it. I'm not going to have it. Don't do it. All right? So I go to the website. This today, check it out. It's before the show because I was going to go in another direction, but this came up. This is when I talk about the church being solely responsible. This is the general counsel from the Assemblies of God website. COVID-19 safety precautions. Any interaction with the general public poses an inherent risk of exposure to COVID-19. COVID-19 is an extremely contagious disease that can lead to severe illness and death. The CDC advises that older adults and people of age who have underlying medical conditions are especially vulnerable to severe illness from COVID-19. They don't put that warning on for the flu season when they have stuff going on. Flu is actually more deadly than this thing. Just saying. All right. So why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Because a year and a half ago, the Assemblies of God came on board with the federal government on all this crap. And I don't know what they worked out. I have no idea. But I know that the Holy Ghost completely left that denomination. And yeah, that's a bold statement. All right. The denomination as a whole. I'm not saying the people and the individuals, because there are individuals that belong to it still, that God still moves through. But from the leadership down, oh, brother God, you can't speak against him, against the leadership. It's God's anointed. I call it like I see it. All right. From my own experience, actually, too, you know, of what happened to me and things that I was accused of doing that I didn't do in order to get my credentials removed. OK, so anyway, back to this, the general counsel, the COVID thing. There's the guideline. Second part of the guideline right here goes down further. Excited for the general counsel, blah, blah, blah. You know, you'll see a list of precautions and safety measures our team will be taking to ensure your time with us is as safe as can be. Thank you for trusting us to create an environment that you and your team would feel comfortable encountering Jesus in. We're excited for what God is going to do. Right? Oh, we're saved and safe because we're going to make it right. We're going to make it right. Okay. Saved and safe. Freaking stuff. When you arrive, masks. The CDC strongly advises unvaccinated individuals to continue masking. Social distancing and frequent sanitizing are also recommended. Now, I was watching, some of the stuff online, and people I know were posting pictures of anybody wearing masks. They had maybe a handful of people wearing masks. They weren't social distancing, But why even put that up there? Why? I mean, why? We want to show the government that we're complying with what you want to say. That even though our people aren't doing it, that us as leaders, we're going to do it. So basically, we want to be able to continue to operate and do what we do. So then you go into the Orange County. Let's see, on top of the mentioned precautions, we also be adhering to any and all guidelines the city of Orlando, Florida sets along with the Orange County Convention Center. Okay, so the guidelines. And then they give you the guidelines down here. Okay, the Orange County Convention Center presents the following guidelines for employees, community safe, blah, blah, blah. Physical distancing. Let's see, and there's another... There's another guideline here. Let me pull it up. There it is. Okay, physical distancing, hand sanitizers, public spaces, communal front and house areas. So, all this stuff that they're telling you that they're going to be doing. In public areas, practice physical distancing by standing at least 6 feet away from other groups of people while standing in the lines. Using elevators and moving around the property, tables, rounds, chairs, seating, and other physical layouts will be arranged to ensure appropriate distancing. You see, but this isn't from the convention center. This is from the AG website. All right, so this is letting you know all the crap that's going on. And I'm going to reiterate again too that the reason for me pointing this out is that I solely hold the church to blame for what's happening in our country today because we dropped the ball. All right, we dropped the ball. So I was watching on there, so I couldn't download the video because I mean I'm getting too much memory being used on my computer, and I can't download all these videos. This video was about 3 hours long or two hours long or something, and I couldn't download the whole thing. So what I did was I took part of the worship, and I'm just going to show you the lyrics to the songs. Okay, here they're worshiping. You're the wonderful working God, and you heal because you love. All right. I don't know how it goes. Never heard the song before. But here's the second one. I've seen miracles my mind can't comprehend. I believe. You're the wonder-working God. Oh, the miracles we'll see. You're too good not to believe. So I was thinking about believing in God and what he can do is miracles, right? I mean, that's my assumption. I've seen cancer disappear. I've seen metal plates dissolve. I don't know if that's part of the song or if that's part of his testimony. But obviously God can't cure a virus because we have to have all these things in place in order to make you feel safe, right? You do to make you feel safe. We're going to put all this stuff in, right? We're going to put all these mandates in to make you feel safe. But I've seen cancer disappear, and I've seen metal plates dissolve. Don't you tell me he can't do it. Don't you tell me he can't do it. So here, this is a song these guys are singing about God and how miraculous he is. All right? But God didn't tell us to put on a mask and get a vaccine, did he? No, in fact, the word says by his stripes we were healed. So the only thing that we have to do is believe on him. But yet for the last year and a half, we did what we did. And then we went right back to like nothing happened. And we try to live like nothing happened. Right? And look at the background here. I don't know if you can see that, but that little scan thing going on, text to give. And I'm looking at that, and it freaking reminds me of like the Jerry Lewis Labor Day telethon, you know, text to give, you know. But except, what are you doing? I mean, the audience is not suffering from muscular dystrophy like the Labor Day telethon, you know. They're suffering from spiritual dystrophy. But what are you getting the money for? To stay afloat, to stay alive, basically, is what you're doing. So you can get the numbers in, and you can make everybody feel. Let me bring it up again. So make everybody feel saved and safe. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. And if you can't, if you've noticed that I have, I'm a little upset. I still am, because to have what happened to me, and as much time and life and energy I invested into that denomination, and to have that happen to me because I took a stand on something, because I asked questions. And then it was turned against me. So it's not only, you see, it's not only this denomination, it's every denomination. Everyone. There's only a scant few churches that are around where there's a remnant, where people are actually doing something to rectify this and to fix it. And a couple of those pastors were arrested for it. You got to be willing to go to the cross. You have to be willing to do it if this is going to work. If not, then that's it. 2030 is going to come along, and then we're going to be totally one world order and full on. You know, we still have the opportunity to change the outcome. We still do. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see it because people they're going to be inconvenienced. Don't want to lose their job. That church might shut down. I might get arrested. The Holy Spirit might move. I don't know what to do. Well, those same disciples that were afraid to go into Samaria, when they got filled with the Holy Ghost, brought over 5,000 people in one sitting to the Lord. Just saying, when your mind stays focused on God, nothing else matters. If the church was focused on God like it should have been, COVID would have never mattered. Vaccines don't matter. It doesn't matter. We're staying open. It doesn't matter because God. That's all you got to say, because God. He's got control of it. And if I get arrested, so what? John MacArthur said it. He said, I've never preached in prison before. I'll do it. Why not? Open door. Got plenty of unsaved people in there. Devil don't know what the heck he's doing. He thinks he's getting rid of you. But yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about all these hardened criminals and how many of them are going to come to Christ and enter the kingdom, because the devil's just stupid. That's all. And people are stupid for following his lies. That's just how it goes, man. Saved and safe. Saved and safe. So I have no idea what's going to happen between now and next week or next time I come on. I don't know. It's going to be hit and miss, man. Like I said, we're going to be moving out of here in early September. We might do some live streams on the road. It'd be pretty cool. But to be honest, before things tighten up again, that's why we're leaving when we are. It's going to get bad, guys. It's not. It's not. I mean, God's, everything that I've, so you go back and look at every video I've ever made and everything I've said, and God reveals things, and if you refuse to look at it, that's not my problem. I'm simply the voice that's giving you the warning. You have to take that and do something with it. If you think everything is fine and dandy, then man, go ahead and live with your mask. Put 2, 3, or 4 of them on there. Go ahead. If you think that's all right. But don't tell me a business has the right to do something. I'm going to say it again. Businesses do not have rights. The Constitution was not written for businesses. It was written for individuals. It is what it is. I mean, you need to go back to school if you think it's something different, because that's just retarded thinking to think that a business can actually tell you that you need to have a mandate, you need to have a vaccine to come in here and buy something. That's mark of the beast crap, guys. That's the mark of the beast. That's exactly what Revelation says. And our Constitution was written to try to protect us from stuff like that. And if you don't stand behind that thing and you just go along with it, then guess what? You're receiving that mark. And a lot of people will probably disagree with me. Oh, this ain't the mark of the beast. It may not be the mark of the beast, but it sure is. We're several steps closer to getting it at this point. There may not be a vaccine, but if you get the vaccine, you're willing to take an experimental drug, experimental vaccine, and put it in your arm, put it in your body, then you'd be willing to put anything on your body. At what point do you say no? At what point do you say no? Well, I'm not getting a microchip. Well, I'm not going to get a lobe job in my head or whatever. What the heck? What is your line of demarcation? All right. What is this? I'm not crossing this line right here. All right. I saw it last year in March. Before all this stuff was going on, I saw it. I said that's it. I'm not doing the mask stuff. I'm not doing this. I'm not staying in my house in quarantine. I'm going out. I'm going to the stores. I'm just living like as much as I can. I'm not listening to you. That was my line. Didn't cross it, and you don't cross it either. And I didn't do it. So here it goes. It's going to be the vaccine. No, you don't get it. No, because the sickness you're seeing right now, I'm going to go out on a limb because there's actually no data on it, but who cares about data anymore anyway? So it doesn't matter. We just kind of go on a whim and crap changes day to day. But this variant that you're seeing is not a variant. It's actually side effects from the virus. I mean, the vaccine. It's side effects from it. Because that's how this vaccine works, is that it undermines your immune system, all right? It's supposed to protect you against COVID, but what about all the other drugs that it creates spike proteins for? What about all the other diseases? How is that going to affect, it's not perfected. You're the guinea pig. You're the guinea pig. You don't know how this is going to affect you in another 6 months. Because now they're saying, well, 6 months, you got to get a booster shot. Well, no, heck no. Don't get the booster shot. Let it work out of your system if it can. And I hope it can. If it can't, then, chalk one up for a dumb decision. I mean, that's all you can do. But I'm not getting it. I will find a way to eat and feed my wife and keep us safe as much as I can until God takes us. So I'm not. I ain't scared. Put it that way. All right. Doc put me on a new statin medicine for my heart, and it's an injection. I have to give it to myself. I give myself a shot, right? So I'm sitting there thinking about hey, is this gonna hurt? Blah blah, and your fear will get to you. Fear will will paralyze you. All right. And I got to thinking, all right, if I can't give myself a shot, how in the hell am I gonna stand up to somebody holding a gun to my head saying take a vaccine or get a bullet? So immediately I just did it. Boom, it was done. You can't think about those things. You just got to do it. So you don't think about the repercussions of stuff because in the long run, history will continue to be made. And it depends on what side of it you want to get on. I'd rather say that I tried to change what was going on because it ain't good. It ain't good. So yeah, that's about all I got for tonight. Nice rant going on. But you guys think about what I said. Think about it. And I still I pray the church, I pray the leadership from the top down changes. All right. Because a year and a half ago, the leadership of the Assemblies of God is the ones that made the decision to do what they did, and all of the you can make your own decision, but we recommend you do this because our lawyer says this. Okay. And that leader was overwhelmingly reelected during this general council. You guys are in for a banner a few more years. Yeah. We'll see how that leadership plays out for you and the next lockdowns and the next stuff that goes along. Yeah. Great leadership. Good God. Good job, guys. Until next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. May he turn his countenance toward you, be gracious unto you, grant you peace. And in the meantime, do not comply.